Okay, in this video we will be doing partial fraction decomposition for this particular problem right here. And so let's get started. So the first step that we're going to do is kind of separate it into three parts because we have three parts here: s plus 3, and s plus 6. And so I will have a divided by s plus b divided by s plus 3 plus c divided by s plus 6. And we want to determine A, B, and C. We want to determine the value, the numerical value for A, B, and C. And so let's get started. So what I could say is the 5 divided by s plus 3, and s plus 6. What I could do is multiply this and this by the same value. So it's essentially not going to change. If I do one thing on one side, I have to do it on the other. So what I will do is multiply this whole thing by s times s plus 3 times s plus 6. I'm doing this in order to cancel out the denominator. And if I do this on one side, I had to do it on the other. So I would get a divided by s times the exact same thing. s plus 3, s plus 6 divided by 1. Likewise, same procedure for B and C. So B divided by s plus 3 times, we have s plus 3, s plus 6 divided by 1 plus C divided by s plus 6 times s parentheses s plus 3 times s plus 6 divided by 1. And because we did this, a lot of terms can cancel. For example, this whole denominator got canceled. So we would get 5 is equal to, the s and s cancel, so we would get a times s plus 3 times s plus 6 plus, now we have b, s plus 3, s plus 3 cancels, so we get b, s, and s plus 6 remains, plus c, s plus 6, s plus 6 cancel, so we would get s and s plus 3. Now the next step is to expand. So I'm going to expand this out, and expand this out. And so I would get a times s squared plus 9s plus 18 for this piece right here, plus b times s squared plus 6s plus c times s squared plus 3s. And this whole thing is equal to 5. Now I will combine like terms. So in this case, I don't have an s squared, I don't have an s by this piece right here. I just have a 5. So I'm going to say 5 is equal to just numbers, no s's, because this is just a number. So I would get 18 times a, 18 times a, and here there's no number, just s's, just s's. So this is one of our terms. We'll have 3 equations and we'll have 3 unknowns, a, b, and c. Next, so there's no s, so I can say 0. And I'll do s squared. So here, as squared, so as squared plus, we have bs squared plus cs squared. This right here is our second equation. So the first equation just involved numbers, like 5. Second equation just involved s squared. Third equation, just s. So here there's no s, so likewise it'll be a 0 is equal to, we have an s here, so 9as. And actually, I shouldn't even say s squared because this is 0 times s squared, and so all the s squared would cancel. So I should remove this, and remove this, and remove this. So a plus b plus c is equal to 0. Likewise, our second equation, same exact procedure, just focusing on s. So we have 9 s's for a, so we can say 9a plus 6 s's for b, so 6b, plus 3 s's for c, so 3c. Okay, so now we can solve. So we have 3 equations and 3 unknowns. Our first equation is very easy to solve for. We can easily solve for a. So we would get that a is equal to 5 over 18. This right here is one of our terms that we need to solve for. Next, we'll solve for b and c. So solving for b and c, one way we can do it is by eliminating a term. We already know a, so we can plug a back in. But then we still have 2 unknowns and 2 equations. So we still need to kind of manipulate equation 2 or 3. And what I'm going to do here is multiply equation 2 by -3. And I'll show you what this will do. So if I multiply equation 2 by -3, I would get still a 0 is equal to -3a minus 3b minus 3c. I multiplied every side, this side and this side, by 3, so it's allowed. And if I do that and I combine equation 2 and 3, I would get 0 is equal to 6a, we know a, so we can easily swap, plus 3b, and here our c term got eliminated. So now we can solve for b, and let's do that. So we would get 0 is equal to, so 5 over 18 times 6 would be, it would be 5 over 3 plus 3b. Next, I will move the 5 over 3 over to the left-hand side, and I would get -5 over 3 is equal to 3b. And now getting b divided by 3 divided by 3, we would get that b is equal to -5 over 9. This is our second piece. So we know a and we know b, so solving for c will be very simple. Because one of our equations is a plus b plus c is equal to 0. So we can say that 0 is equal to a, we said was 5 over 18. So 5 over 18 minus 5 over 9 plus c is equal to 0. Getting a common denominator, we could say that 0 is equal to 5 over 18 minus 10 over 18 plus c. And so this piece right here would be -5 over 18. Putting into the left-hand side, it would be positive. So c is equal to positive 5 over 18. And now for the last piece, simply replace. So I will replace our a value here, our b value here, and our c value here. And so what we would get is, so a over s. So a we know is 5 over 18 times s plus, now our b term, so b over s plus 3. And b was -5 over 9. So instead of positive, it'll be negative. So -5 over 9 times s plus 3 plus c divided by s plus 6. And we know that c is 5 over 18. So 5 over 18 times s plus 6. And so this right here is our final answer. And that's all we need to do for this problem.